I'm back in Korea, and I've got a question for you. What do my dad, some comedians, famous and not so famous, my cousin, and a former Major League Baseball pitcher all have in common? Well, this week on the podcast, you'll see them weigh in on the Masahiro Tanaka signing. That's right, New York Yankees landed the $155 million pitcher who's coming over from Japan. You'll see his autograph right here. Well, it's not really his autograph, but it's a copy that I got. All over America. And I hit New York, Vegas, and Los Angeles, California to find out what people think about Masahiro Tanaka.
The Yankees. What's his name?
What?
Masahiro
Tanaka.
Yeah.
Tanaka.
Is she any relation to Aiko?
It's a boy, and that is a very common Japanese last name.
Tanaka?
Yeah, that's a very common name. So there could be millions.
I mean, it's a lot of money, but when people talk about what Yu Darvish got, yeah, the contract's a little set up differently, but Texas almost paid out just as much as him, you know, with the posting fees and how things are set up. You know, I think New York had to go out and get a type of guy like that. They haven't really had that international flavor since Matsui. I know Ichiro now, but no, you know, Ichiro is not the player he was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So that fan following is still there, but the production isn't. And so now they went out and got a guy that they feel they can win, you know, a lot of ball games and hopefully bring a World Series here.
Have you watched him at all?
I've seen a lot of highlights.
Okay.
And what I see is a guy that is going to pound the zone with 90-something miles an hour, and that has one of the nastiest splitters I think anybody's ever seen. Not just from my standpoint, it's just an unbelievable, devastating pitch. Just like you, though, I remember seeing you pitch over in Japan, and he being 92, 93 miles an hour, hard guy, but now all of a sudden he's over here and he's 98, you know, 99. So, you know, a lot of people are like, well, you know, Tanaka doesn't throw as hard as you. I'm thinking every fifth day with only 150 pitches in his arm, he might be throwing that hard.
What do you think his pitch count will be?
I think he'll go top 120, and I think they'll cut him off. But I think during the week, that preparation is going to be a little bit less. You know, I know over in Japan, there's 150, 200 pitch bullpens in between your starts. I think that the Yankees are going to really limit him to make sure that what he's doing every fifth day is going to be maximized.
Yeah. Did you see in the Japan series what he did?
Yeah.
Losing Game 6.
Barely losing Game 6, and then coming back and closing it out. Like,
next night.
That's a hero. That's a hero status. Yeah.
He's a real man.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about him personally?
No, I have not. I haven't heard anything about a personality. Personally-wise, I just, from my understanding, he's a competitor.
I think he'll fail terribly. I think he'll come over here and be an embarrassment to all of Korea.
He's Japanese.
Yeah, but
on the Yankees pitching again, having the ability to pitch in a 3 or 4 slot, I would almost guarantee he's a 15 to 18 game winner if he's what we see. Mid-90s fastball, dirty splitter, and then he has curve, cutter, slider. He supposedly has 4 or 5 pitches. You have to throw strikes here. He's going to have to challenge some guys that are going to be better hitters. There's going to be more power in the United States. But when someone has the ability to throw a good fastball and a good out pitch, such as the splitter, which is filthy, he's going to be successful, and I think he's going to get a team that's going to score runs. I think it's a good place for him, too. Same thing, I think he's going to be comfortable in New York. Great demographic for him. A lot of people that he can relate to. There's going to be a lot of people around that can help him. Guys like Ichiro, etc. And the guy, and Kuroda.
What about you? Will you take him out and show him around?
I would love to take him out.
Oh, shit. That's a lot of money.
If you're his boss, what will you expect from him?
I would expect from him to, what position does he play?
He's a pitcher.
He's a pitcher.
Mm-hmm. And he
I would expect him to throw a lot of strikes.
And a lot of wins?
A lot of strikes, no hitters, and wins.
You were the first one to tell me about him, and so you were excited about it, and then you told me about some of his accomplishments and the fact that he was if that process turned out with the Japanese, with him being released by the Japanese league, and then he would come to the major leagues, and then the Yankees then had interest in him, and so I was pretty excited about that. And then I was thrilled to find out that they got him because they really need pitching, starting pitching, in a very bad way.
Now, you're a social worker and a therapist. If you're called upon to help him with the cultural transition, how will you tackle that assignment?
That would be really difficult for me to do because that's not my expertise.
If you had to.
If I had to, I would just want him. I would find out what are the things that make him comfortable, and hopefully encourage him to do the things that would, lead him to be comfortable in this country. To surround himself with people of his own culture, I think would be a good idea, and to be easy about the transition because I think it takes time. And as you know, you've been living in Asia for several years now, right? So it's taken you some time to get used to the culture. I would expect it's the same thing for him.
I don't see any reason why he can't try a hot dog with a little bit of relish, a Coney dog, and maybe we could take him to the 3rd Avenue Deli. I don't want to get into it, but I bet it'll be delicious. They got a lovely chicken soup and a pastrami to die for.
But it is funny that you see something like that someone, because you're really taking a stab in the dark on something like that, but he must have dominated the league so well.
What will I do? Well, I'll go to the games, and I'll go there, and I'll hold up a sign for them, and I'll let them know it's me. And I'll bang that drum, and I'll bring a sumo with me until he says, hello, hello, and that'll be exciting. And that I'll always wish for it. I'm looking forward to it.
And I really don't mind being called the schizophrenic surfer. It's kind of, me being...
So you'll interview everybody but me? What the is going on with this damn thing? What'd you tell him?
You talked to me about baseball.
Oh.
And that's about it.